For Unit 3, Identity and Culture, I decided to examine standpoint theory, and throughout my PowerPoint, I'm going to be giving examples of standpoint theory and how it relates to my life also. So, in that case, what exactly is standpoint theory? Before that, I'm going to be discussing what is a standpoint. So, a standpoint is a place from which to view the world that determines what we focus on as well as what it is obscured from us. So what shapes how we view the world and how we communicate? And now we're back to standpoint theory. So our social location and the social groups to which we belong shape what we know, and how we communicate these differences are a result of cultural expectations and experiences. And culture is not experienced identically by all members of society, and this is because of inequities. And social inequities generate distinctive accounts of the world and social relationships. And standpoint theory is rooted in the critical paradigm because it's interested in social locations, which are implemented by power. And different social locations will have different perspectives, and therefore will draw different knowledge. So what are these social locations? Social locations include race and ethnicity, gender and sex, age, religion, socioeconomic status, education, political affiliation, regionality, citizenship status, and martial and parental status. A great example of standpoint theory is Sandra Bullock in the movie Crash. She shows up feminist standpoint theory. But before I dive more into that example, I'm going to be talking more about a feminist standpoint theory. So a feminist standpoint is achievement rather than something automatically inherited as a woman, and it argues that knowledge stems from social position, and women are not a monolithic group. Thus, this means that they do not all share the same standpoint. For example, economic condition, race, and sexuality contribute to a woman's position in society. And now I'm going to go back to the example of Sandra Bullock in the movie Crash. So her standpoint is that she views African Americans and Hispanics as bad people. This is due to her situation where she was out one night and there was two African Americans that pulled a gun on her. So she wanted her house locked down, she wanted security so that she felt more secure. So when this occurred, she went to her husband and asked to have the house more secure. And she communicated with him in a negative way, as there was Hispanics and Black people located in her house. She described that there was a gang member in her house with prison tattoos, and she did not want him in the house because of his race. And she was also bashing Black people while they were located in the house. So she was communicating in this way because of her standpoint. She believes that because she is this white woman with this power, it is okay to communicate in that way against people of other races, which is not okay at all. And also because of the social locations and her social groups which she grew up with have made her have her own opinions on things, and that's how she ended up communicating and interacting with others. So a great example of how standpoint theory applies to my life is my mom. When I was around 10 years old, my parents got divorced, and back then it was pretty normal for the women to not get a job and the men to do all the work. So she never went to college, never got an education, but she has 3 kids and raised 3 kids pretty much by herself. And because she is a woman who never got that education back then, she believes that she wants her kids to succeed more than she ever has, so she does everything she can for us. So her standpoint is to do everything for your kids, even though she doesn't have that. She does everything in her power to do stuff for us.